Hello everyone, this is my second video on designing activities for IGCSE 0500 code. My first video was on comprehension task. Now this video is on summary writing task. I'm sharing an activity with you with the help of what you can practice the past papers with your students in an enjoyable manner. So if you're a student watching this video, you can refer this video to your IGCSE teachers, and if you're a teacher, you can use this activity in your own classroom. In the reading paper, text B is used for writing summaries, and for this video, I have chosen the text from 2022 past paper. The title of text B says Tigers in Captivity. It means the tigers who are not free, who are not in wild, who are caged or imprisoned by the people. The first thing is to read the question. According to text B, what should we find concerning about tigers being kept in captivity? It means all those tigers who are not free, who are imprisoned, who are enslaved, who are caged. We should write down the things that we should worry about. It means there is something that we should worry about. So we are finding all those things from text B. So you must use continuous writing. This is the next thing to understand. Continuous writing means you are not writing in points, you are writing in a form of paragraph. And use your own words. One thing important for summary writing, that is using your own words. If you are looking at some word, you are using synonyms for that. You are not using the same wording from the text. So, and the last thing to be noted is just your summary should not be more than 120 words. It means only one paragraph, 120. If the text is of 300, 400 wordings, you are squeezing it down to 120 words. The material that you are using for your activity is the past paper, so you can download any text B from the past papers and divide the whole text into different paragraphs. The first step of preparation stage is to turn the whole text into different colored strips. For example, if one text has 4 paragraphs, then you are having 4 colored strips. If you have 5 paragraphs, it means 5 colored strips. This text has 5 paragraphs, but I am focusing only on first 4 paragraphs because I don't find anything relevant in the last paragraph, so I'm leaving it out. So I just show you how I have turned them into 4 different strips. You can see largest of all cats. This is your first paragraph, largest of all cats. And then at approximately is your second paragraph. So let me show you the second strip at approximately. And then the third one is only a small percentage. It means this third paragraph only a small percentage. And the fourth one is public encounters. So my last strip says public encounter. It's much better that you are showing all different paragraphs with different colors. The next step is to make groups, and it depends on the number of students you have in the classroom. For example, I have 16 students, so I can make 4 groups and each group can have 4 members. The next step is to distribute the colored strips among different groups. For example, paragraph 1 to be given to group 1, paragraph 2 to be given to group 2, paragraph 3 to be given to group 3, paragraph 4 to be given to group 4. For the beginner stage, it is better to use the same text with all groups, so the summary quality not to be compromised. But for the advanced intermediate stages, you can use different text with the different groups. The next step is to highlight the main idea in the given strips. If they have 3 main ideas or 3 prominent ideas in the given strips, they must highlight all the 3 points. And they must think of all the possible similar synonyms or the similar words that they can use in place of those wordings. Let me show you how this idea works here. You know, each group is given a strip to highlight the important points or the main points in that paragraph. And what are we highlighting? We are basically highlighting the concerning, means something we should worry about, the tigers that are enslaved. So largest of all cats Let me read this paragraph for you. Largest of all cats, a tiger is one of the most threatened species on earth. The main point here is they're the most threatened species. Threatened means that they are at risk, they are in danger, they're not safe. So these beautiful cats are threatened by who are threatening them? They are threatened by growing human populations. Means these are the several things which is explaining the same idea. It is not a different idea that they are threatened, and who is threatening them? They are threatened by growing human population. The growing population means the population is on increase, and loss of habitat. There is no place to live. Illegal hunting. People are hunting them, of both tigers and the prey species. There, it is illegal hunting. Illegal hunting means it is not by the laws. And expanded trade in tiger parts. They are selling their parts, their body parts, which is further used for making medicines. So if you see all these four lines, the most important point here to highlight is that they are most threatened species. So now the next task is to find out the synonym or some similar words used for this phrase. For most threatened species means this is a type that is endangered, or you can say they are at risk, or they are in danger, they are not safe. So anything which you can explain in your summary which should not be the same wordings. Similarly, group 2 is highlighting the important points from their paragraph, that is paragraph 2. So what are they looking at? They will find out all the things that we should be worried about, and which tigers, those tigers who are captive, those tigers who are enslaved. So let me read the paragraph for you. At approximately 13,000, the global population of captive tigers is much higher than the estimated 3,900 tigers remaining in the wild. It means that these captive tigers, the rate is much higher, the number is much higher than in the wild. The next point about the captive tigers in this paragraph is it provides a false sense of security. It means the captive tigers, which is a number high, this number is of the captive tigers higher than in the wild. So it provides a false sense of security. We feel that they are safe with the humans when they are raised by humans, but they are not. So it's a false sense of security. The next point about the captive tigers from the same paragraph is the unsuitable accommodation. Look at the paragraph here. A high proportion of these captive tigers are privately owned and living in people's backyards and apartments. It means they are not living in the natural habitat. Roadside attractions and private breeding facilities, whilst the number of tigers in brutal tiger farms. Means what should be worried about? That they are not safe, that when they are raised by humans, they are not safe. And other reason is that the tiger farms, that how they're being treated there, it has escalated rapidly. It means they are growing in number, and in recent years means they must breed in the natural way, but they are forced to breed. We believe the current scale of captive breeding operations within tiger farms is a significant obstacle to the protection and recovery of wild tiger populations, as they undermine and complicate the enforcement efforts and help to perpetuate demand for tiger parts and products. So what does it mean? That when they are growing in number forcefully, it is complicating the enforcement efforts. Whatever laws we are making to protect wildlife, it is just complicating it. And then there is a big increased demand that for the tiger parts and products, because they are selling their body parts. Group 3 will highlight the important point from their paragraph, and that is paragraph 3. Let me read this paragraph for you. Only a small percentage of the captive tiger population resides in licensed zoos. It means there are such places where they are taken good care of, but this percentage is very small. Many private tiger owners are not properly trained. So they are not having some special training of taking care of the tigers, so they are not properly trained because of their bad treatment. What happens to care for the wild animals, making the animals vulnerable? They are more in danger. They are at risk again. So because of their poor training, often these facilities will allow public contact. So they are giving permission to public to be closer to them with the tigers, including exploitation, how they're being exploited, such as photo opportunities and playtime with the tiger cubs, which is quite unsafe, not only for the public but for the tigers as well. Tigers are not, they are not comfortable when you are giving such facilities to the public. So not only is the welfare of these tigers compromised, but public health and safety. So public health and safety is at risk during these encounters. So they are not putting only the animal in danger, but also the people in danger. Group 4 will highlight the important point from their paragraph, and that is paragraph 4. Let me read it quickly for you. Public encounters with tiger cubs are popular, incredibly lucrative for many. Tiger facilities providing a strong incentive to breed captive tigers to maintain a continuous supply of cubs for entertainment. We know this from the second paragraph, that they escalate rapidly for the owner's benefit because they need them in the big number. That's why they're multiplied. So, however, these tigers are often inbred. This is something new for you, that these captive tigers, they are often inbred. Inbreeding means that they reproduce with the same kind of partner from their close relatives, or there is no change in the DNA. So it will cause birth defects. So it is not good for their health, and they cause birth defects, making them unsuitable for introduction to the wild. Reintroduction efforts could, however, include translocation of individuals. It means change in location from existing wild tiger population in order to create new viable breeding populations. If you need them to grow, it means that you should take them to some other places for breeding, otherwise, in order to avoid this inbreeding. Given adequate protections, we hope the tiger numbers will continue to increase across their natural range, but conservation efforts need to be focused. This point is important, means which thing you should be worried about, that this is not happening, so we need it to be done. That conservation efforts means in order to restore their habitat, natural habitat, need to be focused on recovering these wild population. A member of each group will write the important points from their paragraphs on the whiteboard. This is how they collectively improve the final product of summary. At this point, the students are reminded to use synonyms instead of the exact wordings of the text, and they must use connectives or the discourse markers in order to bring coherence. Use of connectives or the discourse markers will give you the continuous way of writing. For example, you start your summary like captive tigers are endangered species, or they are at risk. Their numbers much higher than the wild, and they are insecure. What makes them insecure? There are different reasons. So you can start like first, second, or third. The first must be the place where they are kept, and then they produce rapidly, and then there is the trade there, they sell their body parts. So there are different reasons. So you can use the wordings, the connective, like however, although, moreover, besides that. In this form, in this way, you can start a discourse with your reader. So this is continuous way of writing. For scaffolding, the groups can also be given a word bank of the connectives or the discourse markers to be used in their summary. Summary writing is such an easy task if you make it easy for your students. Such an ease can be provided to them if it is done in different steps, in different small steps. Keep watching my channel for another engaging activity for your IGCSE students.